Something unexpected is brewing in Berea, and if you've been following the quarterback competition this summer, you know we're talking about a twist nobody saw coming, not even the most die-hard Browns fans. Day 7 of training camp brought a major shift in momentum for rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, and what we're seeing might be more than just a feel-good story. It could be the beginning of a serious change under center in Cleveland. Sanders, a fifth-round pick out of Colorado, entered camp with what many assumed would be an uphill battle. With veterans like Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl MVP, and Kenny Pickett, a trade acquisition with starting experience, already on the roster, not to mention third-round pick Dillon Gabriel also fighting for reps. Most thought Sanders would be a developmental player, a name to watch for the future, not someone who might seriously challenge for snaps this year. But that narrative is quickly unraveling. For the first time in camp, Sanders got reps against the Browns' first-team defense. That's not just a ceremonial nod, it's a statement. Coach Kevin Stefanski is showing that this is a real competition. And here's the thing, Sanders didn't just survive the reps, he delivered. He finished the session going 6 of 10 overall and 2 of 3 while facing off against the first-team defense, one of the most dominant units in the NFL. No touchdowns, sure, but no interceptions either, and that matters when you're testing a young quarterback's decision-making under pressure. It was a small sample size, but one that gave us a peek into what Sanders brings to the table: poise, accuracy, and most importantly, growth. If that weren't enough, over 7 days of training camp, Sanders has completed 42 of 60 passes, throwing 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His best day? July 28th, when he won a perfect 9-4-9 in team drills and added 2 touchdowns. That's not just good. That's making a case for QB1. It's not just about the stats. It's how Sanders is making those plays. He's using his legs. He's escaping pressure. He's throwing on the move. In a league where mobile quarterbacks are redefining what success looks like, that's the kind of skill set you need to stand out and win games. For a young quarterback to show this kind of awareness and execution this early, especially under Stefanski's watchful eye, is something to take seriously. And let's not ignore the timing. Kenny Pickett is sidelined with a hamstring injury, and while there's no word yet on when he'll return, his absence has opened the door for someone to rise. Right now, Sanders is stepping through that door. Let's also not forget what Sanders did in college. At Colorado in 2024, he threw for 4,134 yards, 37 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. A 74% completion rate. That's elite. Yes, there were criticisms about him taking too many sacks, but here in training camp, he's showing improvement by escaping the pocket, creating time, and getting the ball out fast. That development can't be overlooked. It's a sign of maturity and coachability, 2 traits you want in your franchise quarterback. The Browns haven't named a starter yet. But if Sanders keeps this up, it's going to be impossible to keep him off the field. With the preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers on August 8th just around the corner, every snap becomes more valuable. Every rep in practice is magnified. And Sanders? He's capitalizing. Now, we want to hear from you. Based on what we're seeing in camp, do you think Shedeur Sanders is making a legitimate push for the starting role? Is it time to consider the rookie as a real contender to lead this team into the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while the offense is where the headlines usually land, what's happening on the other side of the ball might be just as crucial for the Browns' 2025 hopes, and even more exciting for fans. Let's talk about Mason Graham, the number 5 overall pick out of Michigan, and a name that might soon be echoing through First Energy Stadium every Sunday. If you watched any of the Browns' practices this week, especially Day 7, you already know this kid is special. In Tuesday's padded session, Graham made one of the most jaw-dropping plays of camp so far. With a burst off the line that looked more like a running back than a 300-pound defensive tackle, Graham blew past Pro Bowl guard Wyatt Teller, applying immediate pressure to the quarterback. It was a statement play, the kind that stops everyone, coaches, players, fans, mid-breath. It's rare to see that kind of explosiveness from a rookie, especially against someone as experienced and talented as Teller. Now remember, this wasn't even a full contact drill. Players weren't in full pads. And still, Graham's power and speed were undeniable. He's showing flashes of the kind of interior dominance that makes defensive lines great, not just good. For all the questions that surrounded Graham before the draft, analysts saying he might be better suited for the second round, he's quickly silencing the doubters. And he's doing it in a way that fits perfectly with Jim Schwartz's aggressive, penetrating defensive scheme. The Browns' defense was already one of the league's best last year. Adding a game wrecker like Graham into the mix? That's a problem for every opposing offense. Pair him with Myles Garrett, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Zadarius Smith, and you're talking about a front four that can dictate games from start to finish. But as one door opens, another painfully closes. Day 7 also brought the toughest news of camp. Cornerback Martin Emerson Jr., a rising star in Cleveland's secondary, suffered a ruptured Achilles during 7-on-7 drills. The injury is season-ending, and head coach Kevin Stefanski confirmed that Emerson will undergo surgery later this week. It's a brutal loss. Emerson was coming off a breakout year and was expected to play a huge role in the Browns' secondary alongside Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome too. His absence creates a ripple effect across the defense. With Newsome moving to the outside, the team is now looking for a new nickelback. Young players like Cameron Mitchell, Tony Brown too, and Chigozie Anuzium will get extended opportunities, and the Browns are reportedly already exploring external options to reinforce the position group. Depth at cornerback is critical, especially in the AFC where you face elite quarterbacks every week. Cleveland can't afford to get thin there, and losing Emerson makes that reality all too real. The wide receiver group is also facing its own share of injuries. Michael Woods, too, was waived with an injury designation after missing time since the start of camp. Add that to ongoing health concerns for Cedric Tillman and David Bell, and suddenly the depth chart is being tested. But every setback creates a new chance, and two names have already started rising, undrafted rookie Luke Floria and camp standout Gage Larvadain. Both have impressed in practice and could carve out real roles heading into the preseason games. Speaking of intensity, Day 7 wasn't just about depth charts and individual performances. For the first time under Kevin Stefanski, the Browns incorporated full live tackling to the ground during practice. That might not sound like much, but for a team that has often prioritized caution in camp, it marks a shift in tone. This is a team that's serious. Serious about competition. Serious about physicality. Serious about winning. And that intensity is carrying over to the quarterback reps too. The Browns are rotating their QBs across different team units, including instances where Shedeur Sanders took snaps against the first-team defense while being surrounded by second-team offensive players. That matters. It shows the coaching staff is evaluating Sanders not just in friendly matchups, but under real pressure. They want to see if the poise and accuracy he's flashed can hold up when everything around him speeds up. With preseason action just around the corner, it's clear this is no ordinary training camp. Between rising rookies, heartbreaking injuries, and bold coaching decisions, the Browns are building something real, and fans are starting to take notice. So we've got to ask again, are we witnessing the beginning of a new era in Cleveland? Could Shedeur Sanders become the unlikely breakout star of this quarterback battle? Is Mason Graham the anchor this defense needed? And how will the team bounce back from losing Emerson? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're enjoying this kind of deep dive into Browns camp, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll be following every twist of this story all the way to week 1. Go Browns!